Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Welcome to episode 5 of Nostalgia Power. We're bringing the glory back to Saturday mornings. I think we're close, right? I mean, we're 5 weeks in. I think we're starting to take Saturday morning back.
This is brilliant. The direction we've been going. This is so awesome.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to our goal.
5 straight weeks. Nothing deters us. We are ready. We are.
Yep.
We've covered it all. We've even talked showgirls.
Yes,
that's
we
right.
have. If MG's right, the show starts at 10:45 a.m. after the intro. Yeah, well, you know.
How you doing, Zad? You were up late last night.
I am doing great. I want to say thank you to you guys for coming and showing your support for I Don't Get It. I appreciate it. That show that I do with A-Pass, that's my main show on my channel.
Yes.
That's our thing. It's great, and it was just wonderful to see you guys there. I love all you guys.
Nice.
This is beautiful, man.
That's a good show.
It's the whole pack right here.
Yeah.
So, everybody out there, thank you for all the people in the chat. See a couple guys out there, West Coast guys. Ralphie, I saw Bobby Vu's here. He must be on his break.
Bobby,
right?
to
What
die
time
for.
are we working at this morning, man?
Yes.
Early.
But as you can tell by the thumbnail, we're going to be discussing superheroes, and our good friend Zod down here introduced me personally to something. I don't know if Phil, Jesse, I can't remember what you guys said the other night. I feel like, did you guys know of this? Zod, explain exactly what that is. We watched a little bit. We had a little watch party on our little weekly pre-show meeting, and we watched a little bit of this movie, and it blew my mind almost to learn about it. And explain what it is.
This is the 1990s, early 90s, 94. Unreleased Roger Corman Fantastic Four. And I've often said on a lot of my streams that this movie is my favorite Marvel movie of all time. And I will hold to that because it's so cheesy. As I was joking, when we were watching it the other day, one of the things that stood out to me is, Jesse and I kept going back and forth about the music and the aesthetics, about how it looks like it was made in the 70s. Everything, right down to the shots, the costumes. I mean, you would think that it was made in the early 70s, between about 1971 to 1974, possibly. Easily, I mean, right down to the vehicles in the it was so old. The music,
even like the corny dialogue.
It looked like a period piece, and it was really, really well done. And in terms of comic book, the comic book versions of the characters, it was like the actors and actresses in this movie were like born to play these characters. It was very, very authentic to the 60s and 70s era Fantastic Four comic books. So when we were watching it, I was thinking to myself, man, this is like, it just brings you back. And, talking about nostalgia, all these old superheroes and these old superhero movies, we've all grown up with this stuff. And I was amazed at how to this day, people still don't know about this movie. People still are, they think that the first time they did a Fantastic Four movie was like later on in like the late 90s, where they did the with Michael Chiklis as
Jessica Alba
Jessica Alba, and
honestly, I thought that was my first experience with the Fantastic Four movie. I never knew that existed. But here's that a couple people in the chat did know about it, like MG and Sane Spirits. I don't know if you saw the comments. They pointed out the fact that you pointed out that they basically only made the movie so they can keep the license, right?
Keep the licensing, yeah. It was all a licensing ploy. And what they did was they basically duped the cast. They made the cast and the director think that the movie was actually because the movie was directed by Ole Sasson, and Roger Corman produced it. It was through his studios and stuff. That's why it's called Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, because it was done under his and he's known for the, for the cheaper, really low budget, like C and D level movies. And, the goal for Roger Corman at the time was to acquire Spider-Man. And it all ties into later on when Canon Films comes around and they eventually want to get James Cameron on board to do a Spider-Man movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. And that all started to take shape shortly after this. And Stan Lee was involved in everything, because after this failed, because they realized this was a play, this was not going to the theater. I think this actually only had one theatrical viewing at some small theater in Texas or something. It was one small. It didn't really, so it didn't get a massive release or anything like that. In fact, it didn't get released at all. So that's why there's bootlegs of it all over the place.
So that's obviously a bootleg DVD or
yeah.
Blu-ray.
This is a bootleg Blu-ray with a commentary track from the director.
Like a real. That looks.
It definitely does.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They tried to release it like this is about as official as you can get, because what they did was they released a documentary about this whole situation called Doomed, and the untold story of the Fantastic Four. And the documentary, when the documentary came out, they had a website, and you could actually purchase the documentary and the Blu-ray, a limited edition Blu-ray for the actual movie, with the best sources available at the time. And this was a few years back. And so I ordered the Blu-ray along with the with the documentary. And guys, I think the documentary is available for free in various places. So if you want to know more about this, you should definitely check out Doomed, the untold story of the Fantastic Four.
And the casting, when we were watching it, they did a great job with the casting. I mean,
He did.
Dr. Doom,
Yeah, they did.
Reed Richards. I mean,
that's what I envision Reed Richards to look like,
And Mike, who is Johnny Storm? What would people remember him from in a classic John Candy movie?
Yeah, right. Uncle Buck.
Unbelievable.
Yep. We never would have known that.
What was his name? Bug in Uncle Buck.
Yeah. Yep.
Is Johnny Storm.
Well, you made the observation early on in the movie. What was it? The professor was.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Punky Brewster's
Punky Dad from Punky Brewster.
The guy's the cast, and so they have $1 million budget. So Zach says,
they had $1 million budget total for everything. Yeah,
and Andy pointed out that it was the best version of Doom. I mean, that was a great version of Doom. Like that looks straight up like they pulled that right out of a comic.
And I thought the voice was great. And you made a lot of great observations, Phil, where you were talking about how you could tell the actor who they got to play Victor Von Doom was really, you could tell there was something sinister about him from the beginning. He just seemed off. And I think as a group, this should be the first movie that we do a watch party for together as a group.
Yeah,
live for everybody. I think that's that should be something that we do for this show.
In the second, what were we talking about before the show started? I said we got to watch that one too. I can't think of what it was now, but yeah, definitely this one the first.
I mentioned the Star Wars Holiday Special last night.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was the other night.
God, maybe. Yes. And I don't know what's been going on with that Star Wars Holiday Special, but it seems like over the years, copies have gotten progressively better of that movie. I've got that special. I've got a great looking copy of that thing, and I'm like, and I can't believe that it's even possible to have a great copy of it. But I mean, you had all kinds of crazy stuff in that thing. B. Arthur from the Golden Girls was in it, and you had all these
bartender,
all this singing and weird stuff on there.
George Lucas tried so hard to bury that movie, didn't he?
Yeah,
to erase it from existence.
There's a Boba Fett cartoon in there that's probably the only
that's on
only
Disney Plus.
That's not a bad cartoon. And the weapon that Boba Fett used in there, it was like some sort of double-headed pike or staff or whatever. Mando used that in The Mandalorian. It was the same. Yeah, it was that weapon design that they used in that show.
Nice catch.
Jesse, did you ever see that DC special with Adam West as Batman? They brought Shazam on. It was
Yeah.
it had Hawkman, like it was bad.
Are you talking about the live action? All right.
Yes.
Well, Phil must have missed that. So that's a
Yeah, he
perfect
did.
segue,
That was
right?
before Phil got
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Phil, is this what you're talking about right here?
Man's Mask. That's pretty good.
So what was that supposed to be? Some sort of variety show?
It
Is
was,
that-
yeah. Well, they
Oh,
mixed a
God.
variety show with some live action on on scene, and I never forgot that show. Never since I'm a kid, but yeah, it was kind of weird. It was very weird.
Besides that, and Saturday Night Live, if you remember that Saturday Night Live where they all dressed up as superheroes, like that was the first
Remember
live
when
action
The Rock,
we got.
when
Of
The
it.
Rock
that's
dressed
right,
up
yeah.
as Superman, when The Rock was Clark Kent?
Oh yeah, he had the suit over like you knew it was
did
him.
that. They did that when the Death of Superman comic book came out, and they kind of parodied. Yeah.
Moat, what did you miss? You missed one of the cheesiest live action.
Yeah,
The
I can only
Justice League
imagine
ever.
if he showed up right in the middle of that. Yeah.
and a great B movie of the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Do we have any clips from the Fantastic Four?
No, not queued
No.
up.
I should have did a little B-roll.
He didn't miss it. Yes, he did.
And on that show, The Legends of Superheroes, Frank Gorshin also came back as the Riddler, but he's so heavy in that. I should have put that in there too. but
Oh, really?
He looks ridiculous in the
In
outfit.
his
He does
tight
look
Green
ridiculous.
Riddler
Yeah,
outfit.
he's
Why
bloated.
all the spandex? I mean,
He's all bloated
Imagine
out.
you know what he is? He's that time that in the comics when Bane went after everybody and he pumped up Riddler with venom. He shot venom in his veins and he blew up like a balloon. That's what Frank Gorshin looks like in
That's
that
what he looked
series.
like. Yeah,
to
exactly.
give you an idea.
Yeah. It was a lot to ask of that spandex. I'll tell you
that's
that.
true saying. I mean, my Batman costume probably was better than the one Adam West was wearing.
Am I the only one wearing a superhero shirt this morning?
More expensive.
It looks that way. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, I would say so.
I wasn't prepared in that. So that was when was that show? Then was it the Batman
was-
TV series was in the 60s, like the late 60s. So
Yeah,
would that have come out?
66?
That was 1979. that came
Oh
out.
my god!
Wow.
So were
That's
all
the
those
year I was
other
born.
actors that played those characters, were they from their own specific show, or did they?
Well, there was that live action. There was that live action Shazam TV show.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, and that was the 70s, wasn't it?
Which was in the 70s, which was god awful. I mean, you talk about terrible. Like they were on like a bus, and it was god awful.
Yeah, it
like,
was
you really like honestly, the 66. We all have fond memories of the corny 1966 Adam West Batman. We all love that show for different reasons, right? But when you look by comparison, the 1966 Batman looks like a modern Batman story by comparison to the Shazam series from the 70s that they did.
Well,
that was god awful.
Most of the 70s TV live superheroes were kind of cheesy. All of the shows were
wacky beyond words.
Well, they didn't really last long either. I think most
I
of
don't
them
know.
lasted 2 seasons.
Right.
You know.
When did the Wonder Woman TV show? Was that in the mid 80s?
Just had it
70s.
70s. Weird that the Wonder Woman and Superman weren't a part of that show.
You know,
they're two of the more recognizable heroes.
The
you know,
Wonder Woman TV show from the 70s is one of the main bright spots of 70s superhero TV.
Yes, we know why. There's 2 reasons.
Linda Carter.
No, come on.
Those are the 2 reasons.
You got it. I wasn't going any further. I just.
I mean, for real. That's. I mean, there's nothing more to say. But
I wasn't going to say any more.
But you definitely, when you look at that show, I mean,
it was on for 4 years, guys.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Really?
75 to 79.
And that,
Did they bring her on
Wonder
in
Woman,
that
Wonder
variety
Woman
show?
theme
Did she
was
come
so
on in the
catchy.
end?
No, she didn't.
Wow! I can't believe they couldn't get her.
Yeah, I believe
was
Wonder
too
Woman
in
expensive.
there at all.
Wonder Woman was the longest running of all the cheesy TV like superhero
I
shows.
mean, Batman and
Yeah,
Robin were
100%,
2 years.
100%.
Mhm. And Superman. Okay, so when did we say that show ended? 79.
The TV show?
Yeah.
No, so Superman was in the
Superman was in the 50s.
was in the 50s.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking,
George Reeves.
Christopher Reeve.
Well, no,
Well,
he
that's
did,
the movie.
his movies were from 78 to 87. The last
Okay, so
one
78 was the
the
was
last
Superman
movie
1.
was the last
Oh,
Superman
Superman
movie with
4
Christopher Reeve was Superman 4 the
87.
quest Superman 4 the Quest for Peace. That was 87.
That's crazy.
Isn't that
They
crazy?
And that was all
spanned over almost
that was
a whole
all from an
decade with those
idea
movies.
and that movie was all from an idea that Christopher Reeve had about the arms race between Russia and the United States. That was his baby.
Well,
And
unfortunately,
most people don't
Cannon
know.
didn't have a budget for that.
But most people don't know there is a director's cut of that movie, and the director's cut for Superman 4: The Quest for Peace is like 3 hours long. There's so much of that movie that there was cut out.
How can we find that?
There's multiple versions of Nuclear Man in that movie, where they went through multiple variations of the character, and then when they cut it down for the theatrical cut, they basically used, just the one Nuclear Man villain, which I found really interesting. You can see a lot of most of the footage. You can see it as deleted scenes on the Superman 4 Blu-ray.
They should have went Bizarro. They should have went Bizarro, Superman 4. They should have went Brainiac and Superman 3. I mean, they screwed up.
Brainiac, I don't understand, especially because in Superman 3 they were dealing with a supercomputer, and
that would have fit right in.
And they still could have had Richard Pryor in there, but
Sure.
Right.
I mean, if they really wanted to go bold, they could have made Richard Pryor Brainiac. I mean, it was 19, it was early 83. They could have did it. Because that was right around the time.
I like
Apple
Superman 3.
computers
That's one of my
and
favorite
stuff
Superman.
Yeah.
Even Superman 4 wasn't that bad. I mean,
I know, but he wasn't as built.
No.
He was so built in Superman 3 compared to where he was in Superman 4. That
he got jacked for Superman 3.
Man.
MG, Nicolas Cage, that movie was supposed to happen in the 90s, and due to all kinds of issues and stuff, and they just decided to pull the plug on it.
Yeah,
I'm glad they did a lot. I mean, and they did a lot for that movie. I mean, they actually had screen tests of Nicolas Cage in the weird Christmas tree looking, Christmas lights looking,
and he had the
Superman
long hair
suit
and all that.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because they were doing the mullet thing. They were trying to be reminiscent
it was 97.
The death of Superman. They were trying to
that's what they were going for.
Yeah, because that storyline was because remember at that time, Death of Superman was a big storyline around that time where they had the comics because they were doing World Without a Superman, and then they were doing that whole storyline where they were going to bring Reign of the Superman, which was going to bring back the character. And Nicolas Cage, he was supposed to. There was an article that came out where Nicolas Cage talked about the scenes that he shot for the Flash movie that they didn't use. They basically wasted his time. He was there for 3 hours doing these shots for the Flash movie, a nice little scene that he did, and they decided to just straight up CGI and do their own thing and have them fight the giant spider. It made no sense. Like Nicolas Cage was like, I shot scenes, they didn't use them.
What was the Superman movie where he was supposed to fight Brainiac was supposed to fight the polar bear at the end? Like the whole Kevin Smith.
That was supposed to that actually would have happened in the Tim Burton one. That would have happened in the same movie. Kevin Smith wrote the Superman Live script. That's what the movie was. Kevin Smith wrote the script, and then when Tim Burton signed on as director, he had somebody else come in and rewrite that script. So MG, it was going to be the same. It was going to be the same story, but it was just going to be Tim Burton up. So we were going to get the death of Superman. That's why Nicolas Cage had the long hair and all that. We were going to get that death of Superman storyline. But the problem was it just, there was just so many things that just didn't work. And honestly, I mean, do you really want to see an Edward Scissorhands version of Superman? Not really. I mean,
like a dark and that doesn't really work with Superman. Batman absolutely worked great, but yeah, it's not really what you envision.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
You
can do a dark Superman. I mean, I'm a big fan of the direction that
Okay. You have
Zack Snyder.
Is it possible that we'll see Zack Snyder DC related stuff on Netflix? Your opinion?
Yes. Well, we already have Man of Steel. We have the
but newer stuff, new direction, like whatever's happening with HBO.
Eventually, because Warner Brothers is going to get sold within the next couple of years to Universal. The rumor is Universal's going to buy them, and when Universal buys them, I have a feeling that that's when you're going to see, because Zach is already over at Netflix doing Rebel Moon and all these projects. And I think we are going to get the conclusion finally to his Snyderverse. That's what I think.
So Universal will control DC movies in the theater. Is that could happen? Wow.
Yeah. If they end up buying Warner Brothers Discovery, yeah.
Could you imagine Islands of Adventure completely turning into a DC theme park then in Florida?
Theme park, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. You can totally do the darker story, and that's why I say I'm a big fan of what Zack Snyder was doing, which is why it's like they showed you could do Superman in that vein without making it cheesy or goofy, like with what Nicolas Cage would have been. The Nicolas Cage Tim Burton would have been a different kind of weird, a different kind of dark. It would have had almost a more noirish kind of like The Day the Earth Stood Still kind of vibe, I think. And you would have got a little more Twilight Zone-y. It would have been really, really weird with Tim Burton. I don't know. But I never saw Nicolas Cage as Superman either. That was my big problem. Nicolas Cage didn't look like Superman.
I remember seeing these pictures not long ago. I'm like, this can't be real, right? Like, because then you had there was Ben Affleck was Superman too for like a minute, right?
He was in the George Reeves,
Hollywood Land, yes, where he actually wore the suit and he was actually playing the actor.
So that wasn't a Superman.
He wasn't really
Ben Affleck.
That was a movie within a movie.
Ben Affleck's been Superman, Batman, and Daredevil. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
Daredevil. Yeah. Which guys, I gotta ask. Have you guys seen the director's cut of Daredevil?
I love Daredevil. I love that.
I've never seen. No, not the director's cut.
The director's cut had the rapper Coolio on trial for something in the director's cut, but the director's cut is so cool. Like there's a lot of stuff that they cut out of for the theatrical version, and I loved it too. I love the original Daredevil.
It's a great movie.
But speaking of Daredevil, since we're talking about nostalgia and 70s, 80s superheroes, the Daredevil that they brought into the Incredible Hulk TV show.
Oh gosh, those movies were great. And Thor, guys.
When they did Trial of the Incredible Hulk, and they had Matt Murdock defending the Hulk in court.
Yeah.
That was dope. And you actually got to see him. He was wearing but he wasn't wearing like the red. He was wearing all black like he was in that early Marvel show.
I had the 2-disc DVD. Then you had the Thor.
Yeah, the Thor one was good too. That came after, I think, and he was drinking beer and being.
He's the guy from Robin Hood Men in Tights. He was the Big John, right?
Yeah. But to me, there was never a better TV show from Marvel than the 1970s Incredible Hulk. they just nailed it to this day.
Strong second is the Spider-Man. I mean, guys, as cheesy as he looked, it was fun watching that Spider-Man.
I
show.
love that
I loved
one.
it.
Yeah.
How about the Japanese Spider-Man TV show? To me, I thought that was fantastic. Have you guys seen it? The 70s the Japanese Spider-Man TV show where it was there was giant robots in it. There was all kinds of crazy stuff in it. It's really
I think I know
good.
what you're talking about. And Mystery Science Theater may have done something on that.
We'll have to
look it up. I could be thinking
We'll have to watch a little bit of that later, guys.
Look at Ralphie predicting something big. He's seeing it happening in Burbank.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you're going to be looking at some cheesy stuff, there's a Bollywood version of Spider-Man and Superman. Sometime if you're perusing around, just take a look at that.
Maybe that's
there's also a great
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
There's also a great porn parody, Spider-Man versus Superman, and it's directed by
We're heading down the rails again.
It's directed by
hold on, let me post the link in the chat.
It's directed by prolific director Axel Braun.
Sign up for good virus protection and click on this link.
I got this disclaimer from legal the last time. It says the
We're
views and
getting videos
opinions
taken down here.
What does it say?
It says the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. So they told me I had to read.
Good, yeah.
I know, but you want to talk about costumes actually looking like looking authentic. I mean, because there was a Superman versus Spider-Man comic book in the when Marvel and DC did their crossovers.
You ever see that DC versus Marvel where like Batman was going out like head to head with like Captain America? Like it was one of those.
You talking the comic series?
Yes.
In the comics, yes.
Late 90s.
In the comics, they did it in the 90s, and they did it as far back as the 70s. I have a giant size Superman versus Spider-Man comic book from the 70s where they merged. They had that crossover, and that was pretty cool.
Well, do you remember in the 80s they started making different kinds of superheroes? Like they just went out on like
you're talking about the amalgamation verse where it was
they just made shows like Manimal. Do you remember that?
Manimal is beautiful from the 80s. Oh my god, Manimal, guys.
And Automan, remember it looked like
Automan. It was a Tron ripoff.
Yeah, it was a Tron ripoff.
He kind of looks like Starman. Like if you look at it, he resembles Starman.
Jesse, I actually just a couple months ago watched a few episodes of Automan.
Did you really?
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I downloaded them online, and I'm like, oh my god, this is fantastic. It's so bad, but it's great.
Yeah, and guys, the powers of Matthew Starr.
Oh man, guys, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the greatest American.
I was going to say that. Yes, yes. Is that getting any love?
I mean, Ralph Hinckley, guys. I mean, it was amazing. That show was amazing. I hate it now, though, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Because in all of the home video releases of this movie in the United States, at least, they replaced all the 80s music that was in that show with cheesy, public domain, just generic music. And I hate when they do that to old TV shows. It ruins the aesthetic. It ruins the mood. It ruins everything. Like they did that to 21 Jump Street. And I was just like, listen, I can't watch this show anymore. I was so mad about 21 Jump Street that I had an urge to watch it, that I imported the DVD set from Germany so that I could watch it with all the original music intact. And that's what you have to do for Greatest American Hero. If you want the original soundtrack, you have to import it from Japan. The Japanese version is the only version that has it intact.
Do you know what the symbol on his chest came from? Have you heard that?
No.
Stephen J. Cannell had a pair of scissors on his desk,
I
and he
love this
modeled it
story.
after that. Yep, it's true.
Oh my gosh, I'm pulling up.
If you look at
Mike,
the
Mike,
symbol,
pull up the logo.
it was modeled after his pair
Greatest
of scissors.
American hero.
Pull up the logo. It's Kev Gret's logo.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say it's Kev Gret.
Oh God.
Getting those turtle memories all over again, Mike.
God, this is a fantastic discussion, my friends. We
Oh,
are
man.
just wow.
And did you know that the Greatest American Hero was going to spin off into the Greatest American Heroine?
Oh yeah, Phil.
It
You got
did.
that on the
It
thumbnail.
did.
Yeah.
It
But it
did.
never-
There's an actual pilot.
Yeah, because the last episode they ran it, but then it never came to fruition.
Yeah, there's an actual. It's on the DVD set. The Greatest American Heroine. It's on there, and it's not bad though.
It's like those red plastic scissors we had in like elementary school. Is that what he
Yeah.
was looking at?
Yeah, that's what they say that it was.
But-
And it's so
Here.
and it's so
Yeah.
apt. It's so apt that he's a teacher, and it's the scissors.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that.
It's so great. It's
Yeah.
So
so
the
great.
costume gave him the powers. It was an alien costume. Like he didn't have superpower. He had to put the costume on, right?
Yeah. And fun fact: if you bought one of the early DVD box sets for the complete series of Greatest American Hero, you got the alien book, the alien instruction book that
Yeah.
came with the suit
Oh.
that with all that lit up and had all those, and it looked exactly like the one in the show. Like it made
So it
all
was
the
the suit
sounds
that
and
gave him his powers. You think he opened that box up and looked at it and was like, "Really? Like I have to wear this? Like, couldn't it have been something cooler?"
You know
Yeah,
what was great?
1983. That was. I remember playing him as a kid, like jumping down the stairs.
And it had the best.
That was
And
awesome.
I mean, it had the best theme song of all.
Oh, you just
time.
took it from me. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You're
Can we
and I-
play the song?
got-
I mean, you can hear it in your head.
I don't know.
Remember George's.
Jesse, I feel like
answering
we're
machine
kindred spirits, man.
Seinfeld.
We like you and me. We like know all this stuff. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that show is.
You know
is
what?
like-
We need that for our next commercial break. We need to incorporate that.
All right, I'll
The
keep
Greatest
that in
American Hero.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
guys.
believe it or not.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful theme, and you know, and they've talked about remaking it so many times. And there was even some comic books that continued it later on, and I think it was the early 2000s.
There was a
They
team
did
up
some
with
comic.
Superman. I saw that last night. They had a comic with him and Superman in it.
Who owns the property? Like, is that a DC owned? Then is he, or
I
is
don't know
it?
about
Are they?
I don't think it's DC owned right now.
Or was he? Was it a DC created property?
No.
So
It was
it
was
wasn't
actually
either DC or
owned-
Marvel.
It was actually owned
Mhm.
by. I think it was owned by. Wasn't it owned by the same company that did the Marvel? Some of the Marvel stuff during that time.
Oh,
Wasn't it the same like production company? I don't. Secrets of ISIS. Yeah.
it was different in the 80s. That's for sure. Different. The shows that you could get away with back then.
I always wondered why Greatest American Hero never got a video game. It was so popular during its time. It would be like for an arcade game. Like you could imagine.
Make him the red guy in the Superman.
Right. Like,
There you
hello.
Somebody just
Speaking
needs to
of
go in there
which,
and do
you know-
a sprite change.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk a little bit about that Superman arcade game.
I was trying to find it this morning. Bobby,
Would
there's
you buy?
nothing on here. I can't find any.
Would you buy a Tato Superman cabinet
Yes.
if Arcade One
Oh,
Up
yeah.
put it out?
In that Nintendo blue, like picture that cabinet for a second. It had that powder blue on the sides of it. Absolutely. And the thing about the Superman arcade is it's basically the size of an XL Arcade 1-Up. Like you could actually get that in your house. It's not huge, I absolutely.
Oh, the real version. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's not that big. It's
First
like
time-
Pac-Man.
The first time I played the Superman arcade game was at Six Flags, Phil.
Really?
They had it. They have it in there. They had it in there. I don't
By
know
the
if they
American
still do.
Eagle in that.
Yeah, they had it in that little arcade over there by the Eagle, and you could, and I used to play it every time I would go to Six Flags because it was one of my favorite go-to cabinets, and it was just nice to play as that version of Superman.
Ralphie's gonna know this reference, but I missed out on Starcade in Tomorrowland at Disneyland because whenever I went to Disneyland, I was all about going on the rides, but they had one of the best arcades right in Tomorrowland. I'm sure Disney World did too, but you don't think of going to arcades when you go to amusement parks. You know, I'm all about the rides when I know, but I want to get on the rides. How often do you go?
I remember there being a crowd when I was younger. I remember there being a crowd around Mortal Kombat at Six Flags too, like a crowd of people around it playing. And I remember watching these two masters at play being as Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and it was insane.
Yeah, it was console. It was console fanboy. That was his first.
It was console. 12-year-old. Yeah. It was console fanboy and Welcome to Die, and it was just like wow, guys, these people are. Oh man,
boys, we want to go to commercial real quick.
Yeah, let's hit it.
Yeah, I gotta get coffee.
Yeah, we need to hear from our sponsors here and pay our bills so the lights stay on. Yeah, and everybody can refill their coffee. So yeah, we'll be right back, guys, after this.
We'll see ya.
And now these messages. Coming from the farthest reaches of the universe to challenge the worst villains on Earth are the most powerful heroes ever in the battle of the Superpowers Collection. Superpowers figures with power action, each sold separately.
There's no power to be built. Squeeze them, they've got power action like Superman and Batman. Here comes Hawkman. Watch out for Brainiac's power action. And each comes with a mini comic.
The Superpowers Collection, Superman, Batman, Brainiac, Hawkman, and other figures with power action, each sold separately, new from Kenner.
The real story. The love story. A woman in danger. A hero in black. The adventure you've been waiting for. Where does he get those wonderful toys? What are you? I'm Batman. Rated PG-13. Now playing at a theater near you.
Nintendo. It's for breakfast now. Nintendo. It's a cereal. Wow. Nintendo. Super Mario Jump. Nintendo. In a fruit flavored crunch. Nintendo. Here's Zelda too. Nintendo. It's very good news. Nintendo. You just can't. Nintendo cereal system is a super part of this nutritious breakfast. Nintendo. 2 cereals in 1. Wow.
Hello. This is Mr. Spock, and you are watching Nostalgia Power with the bad guy, Mike Worley, Jester Tester, Zod Rider, and PD7. With a team of such elite fans of all things from the 80s and 90s, it would be illogical not to beam over to Mike's YouTube channel every single Saturday morning. With phasers locked on target, Nostalgia Power has brought Saturdays back. Live long and prosper.
Now back to our show.
Oh, good old Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, great work on that one. Jeez.
Awesome.
That was awesome. And the one last night, you had some great.
Oh yeah, you did.
I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah,
James Gunn.
Yeah, Gunn and
the James Gunn.
Yeah,
and
there was another one.
I had Patty Jenkins. We did Nick Cage.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they were good too.
I don't know why they hate Wonder Woman 84 so much.
Any sort of secret installation that uses voice recognition, you might be able to get your way in. Just saying. You're getting pretty good with that stuff, man.
I'm
Yeah,
getting good at
really.
it. I'm getting better at it, and I
that's
really
awesome.
want, and I like I said, next week I'm promising an 80s icon. So just stay tuned for that one. It's going to be really good. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks, and you guys, it's going to be cool.
Nice.
Better be Steve Urkel.
I wanted to ask you guys though, what do you think? I'm trying, because now I'm experimenting with music. I'm experimenting with songs and stuff.
Yeah, I
through
heard
it.
your theme
We
song
did it.
last
We did a
night too.
theme
That was
song
pretty.
yesterday.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that was a
super
full.
rapid.
That came out as a full song. I had to like run it through software and all kinds of things after I did it, and so I'm hoping to come up with a really good opening theme song for us for this show. That's something I'm also working on. So hopefully it'll turn out good.
I'm sure.
I
it
have
will.
what kind of coffee machines? Jesse, what do you got?
A coffee machine?
Yeah, Mike Hawk Hertz is asking.
Oh, what do you call that? You put the pods in?
The K cups. One of those
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Once again, Jesse, that's what I got, man.
Yeah.
I
It
have,
beats
Keurig.
regular coffee.
Yeah. I have no
any
time
day
to
of the
percolate
week.
no more.
you guys got to try the
That's
Cuisinart.
true.
It's like a Keurig, but there's no pot. Like you put everything in the top, and it makes a pot's worth of coffee, but it's got like a E and empty and full nozzle on there, and you hit the button, so it's potless, it's riserless, guys. But
That's
it's
riserless.
What's it called, Phil? What's it called?
Cuisinart.
Is that the peasant version?
No, it's the XL.
That's
You know what? For me, I do. I've become so with that machine. I've become so like I'm obsessed with trying all the various different
It's
weird,
expensive though. That's
weird
the problem with
flavors. No, but it's cheaper if you get them through Amazon. So I get like the
Costco is even better, but it's just
I get like I'm obsessed with trying all these different brands, all these different hot chocolates, and like I get like my favorite hot chocolate to get for that is the Junior Mints hot chocolate through Amazon. It's wonderful. It has like the right amount of mint and the right amount of chocolate, and it blends together perfectly. It's the
That actually
best hot
sounds pretty
chocolate.
good.
It's the best hot chocolate I've been able to find since getting that machine.
I saw some flavors at the grocery store last week. They have Snickers flavored coffee.
I've tried it.
How is it?
It's okay.
I want the Twix. I was looking at the Twix.
What's good too? You know what's good too, Phil? That you should try? Twinkie flavored.
Really?
Oh, good God.
They've got Twinkie flavored, Ding Dong, Snow Globes. They've got all and they got them in. Got it in a variety pack you can buy. It's on Amazon. You should try it out. For me, out of all those flavors though, on that variety pack, Twinkies are the best because it's like a lot. It comes out like a latte. It's really good. Really.
Yeah, get them from Costco, right?
Yeah. We're big Costco fans,
Ralphie. Yeah, man.
Roast what? Oh God.
Roast tea.
Yeah. UHF. He made that hot dog inside a Twinkie. Remember?
Oh my God, Weird Al. Is that the Weird Al movie?
Yeah, it's a great.
That's a watch party movie. That's a good watch party movie right there.
That is one of the. I can't get Kelly to sit through that one. That is a great movie.
I can't get my wife to sit through all these classic great movies either. I don't get it. Like, you mean you're gonna tell me you're not going to sit here and watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail with me? You're going to think it's dumb?
I know.
I'll watch it
these
with
people.
Yeah. Awesome.
I don't need you.
Yeah, listen.
We got one more clip that I want to play that's superhero themed. Another one that Jesse made that's really nice. It should get some interesting conversation rolling. Yeah. Talking to sweet costumes.
Look at that helmet.
The visor.
He's like, oh, there goes my shield.
Grandma, sit down.
It's so bad.
It hit him like a feather.
This is the one, Phil.
Love this show.
This show. This is the real Spider-Man.
love this show. Jesse,
I did
it's
too.
the best.
I waited every week for this.
This is from the Chinese web, isn't it?
I think it's the same actor, Zod. I think he was the same Spider-Man, wasn't he?
No, yeah. This is from the Chinese web episode, though, right? The 2-part finale.
He did a great job with that suit.
The suit does look pretty sweet.
I would have liked if the eyes were a little bit wider.
Yeah, that's the kind of
Probably
goofy
hadn't
part.
figured it out at that point yet.
Yeah. It's pretty good, though, still. I like it
Look
better
how
than
he's
the
balancing on that wall.
Spider-Man movie look. Yeah. Choreography is so good.
I mean, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. This is where Sailor Moon got their stuff from.
This is where like she flies in the invisible plane in this series, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Best special effect of all time.
I think she was only 22 in this.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Not surprising. Daughter.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this.
I mean, when they brought Batgirl in, it really blew up. It's cool to have all 3 characters.
Yep.
Yeah. Yvonne Craig, she fit that suit nicely.
Yeah.
Hey, that first Catwoman is my favorite. Out of the 3 Catwomen. Look at Mick.
Mickey!
That was the biggie.
That was wonderful.
Speed.
Where was the Green Hornet?
Oh, the Green Hornet. And hey, there was a Doctor Strange TV series. You guys remember that?
Yes.
There was a
Yeah.
Doctor Strange movie too in the 70s that was just bonkers. Just like I don't know why it was made.
Man. Guys, we had the best childhood. I mean, there was just so much stuff to choose from.
That was my first exposure to Batman right there.
Yeah.
I thought that's what
Yeah,
Batman
me too.
was.
Yeah.
Freddy
Mine might have
Krueger.
been the Super Friends, then probably that show. But I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was the.
Yeah,
cartoon.
okay. I should I take that back. First live action.
Maybe the Batman
First.
Scooby Doo episode. One of those I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what we had, right? Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, maybe it's a little corny, but
Hey, as a 8-year-old,
oh yeah, you
You'll
ate
love it,
that
guys.
right up.
that movie, the movie aired first, the Batman the movie, and then they made the series after that. So all the villains were in that movie.
Yeah, right. Oh, the movie came first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have that on DVD.
Oh,
I think.
Going back to that Spider-Man show, I was so addicted to that. I wanted to make a web slinger, So I put a big piece of wood on my wrist with it was like a little mini crossbow that I had on my wrist with a big giant piece of rope. And I remember shooting it up to the 2nd floor. We had a large staircase, and I got it wrapped around the spindles. So I started climbing up the wall to try and climb up. I was about 8 years old, I guess. And I was climbing up. I was halfway up. I snapped the spindles off, and I come flying down to the ground. And I had that stupid mask on, those old masks with the rubber band around.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Did you get in trouble for this?
Yeah, my mother come running out, and the mask is all the way twisted on my head, and the spindles are all busted down. Yeah,
It wasn't. Are you okay? It was like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Hey, that would have been my response too. Like, what?
Yeah. What were you thinking?
I wanted to make a back grappling gun or a web. Like, Why couldn't we figure that out as kids?
I know, right?
Yeah, the ghost broke the spindle.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the ghost, Mom.
I
I
could.
swear.
They just started flying off.
Blame it on the ghost.
Yeah. So, Phil, you want to get into a one of your trivia questions?
Oh yeah, we got two. So the prizes, by the way, Say in Spirits years. There's like 3 prizes I shipped out yesterday. So I got the tracking right here. I will text you. I forgot to do that yesterday. But we have Spider-Man from Hobby Lobby. And we got a different Batmobile this week.
That's pretty sweet.
It's cool, yeah.
Guys, the grocery store. Great stuff.
Is that from? It looks like it's one of the. Is that the Val Kilmer Batmobile, or is that the Batman?
You know,
what is that from? Does it
It's
say?
Batman the Brave and the Bold. Remember that cartoon?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So here's our 2 prizes. Seeing Spirits will probably win both of them, but
Guy knows his stuff, man.
And MG, I still have
Your pals are your
I'll hold on
prizes
to
are
it for another
piling up.
week, but I mean you gotta send the address or we're gonna
Going back in the pot.
What does Arcade went up to? They rehash. So we'll all right. Question
Sure do.
we have two questions. Question 1. What year did the Incredible Hulk TV series air? What year was it?
I don't
And
think
here's
you
a hint.
mentioned
It was in the 70s. Okay, so it finished in the 80s, but what year did it start in the 70s? And what do you guys think? What prize should we give away for that one?
Ralphie's
Should we-
got it, I think.
that. Is
Should we
that
say Marvel?
Yeah, I don't know the exact year.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ralphie. Yep,
Marvel
1978.
for Marvel. There you go.
All right, Ralphie, you got Spider-Man
Toxin
coming.
2018. Toxin. Yeah, you're a few years off.
Whoa, just a few.
So we're saying Ralphie got it.
All right, I got that marked down. Okay, the next prize was the Batmobile. The Amazing Spider-Man TV. We went with the 2 best Marvel, like probably the 2 best shows for the 80s. What the Amazing Spider-Man TV series from 1977 lasted how many seasons? How many seasons did the Amazing Spider-Man go on for?
That's a tough one.
It is. We're gonna have to.
We have 6.
Google-
we have
Google this one.
5. 3.
Too many.
Hot Rangus says too many. 2, 1. Everybody's just throwing numbers out there. Apparently, you're all wrong.
Oh wait, sorry. I was just going back. Who answered 2?
MG
Oh,
first.
MG,
MG.
you gotta send an address. Okay.
Toxa says it's still on air in India.
It is.
What was that Borat that they used to do stuff like that? You guys ever see Borat?
Yeah.
That's
You have
not
the mustache, yeah.
nostalgia yet. Yeah. All right, so MG wins again.
Okay,
huh?
so MG, you got 2 things. Last week you won these. The Magic Girl. We all remember these as kids. And then you won the Batmobile. So I need your address, man.
Oh, MJ87 says Ralphie meant 1878, so he didn't actually win. We didn't specify the century. That's right. We should have done that. Yeah,
All right, congratulations, everybody. It's going to be weird not sending anything to Seeing Spirits this time.
I feel like he sat this one out.
Well, he didn't have to. I was just being, we were joking around. The man's been on
Suppositories in a
fire.
Batmobile, yeah. I wouldn't use those as blow up sponge dinosaurs as suppository.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. You could have a lot of fun with this. I mean, you
Yeah.
could. You know what I used to do? The bathroom sink. You know, you'd plug it, and I'd throw them in the. You get 25 seconds of entertainment for each one.
Yeah. Swallow one. See if you crap out a dinosaur.
see if you get any of these colors in your poop.
Probably would.
I mean, look at all the fun shapes here. Look at the seahorse.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of cool. Come on, MG. Send your address. This is it.
Plus this Batmobile. Hey guys, don't worry. We have some great Hot Wheel toys for next week. So we have plenty of good stuff over here. It's good to get rid of these because it just piles up, and it's good when people send you addresses so you can send them.
If you eat one, would you die? Probably not. I mean, if you ate a few of them, you might. One,
it's like a Twinkie. It just stays in your stomach.
Yeah,
exactly.
Your body could process one of them.
Or like ramen.
Oh my God, ramen. Yeah.
So where's the wife working today, Mike?
She's working at the hospital, doing ultrasounds. Every other Saturday she works. She only puts in a half a day, which isn't bad. 8 to noon.
What about weekdays? Does she work, or is it just a weekend?
Oh no, yeah, she works weekdays too. But she actually, this is her. I want to call it a side job, maybe, because it's with a different company. Yeah. During the week, she also does ultrasounds, but she does mobile ultrasound. So she goes around to different sites.
Mike's got his hands full this morning. He's got the boy,
got the kid here, the dog running around. Yep. Everybody's been good so far.
Yeah. Better not jinx it now.
We haven't heard him.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't heard him the whole. Where's he playing?
Upstairs. He he takes my phone, so I downloaded this. It's an app, and we're getting way off subject, but it's a flight radar. You can actually look at every single flight that's in the air on the planet.
Really?
Yeah, and you can click on each one and see where it's going, where it's at, and he's all into airplanes and stuff
maybe
like
this
that
is what
right now.
Superman does. Maybe this is how Superman watches.
He just has an app that shows everything. Like,
yeah.
Guys, speaking of Superman and all that, and in honor of our show being superheroes, I wanted to share my screen and show a picture of back when I had hair, when I cosplayed as Superman.
Oh yeah, here we go.
I have to see it.
This is gonna be great. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
No.
Dude, you look like The Rock.
You do.
Yeah, we
How long ago was this?
Oh, this was several years ago. I still had a
look
full
at that
head of
young
hair.
face, man. You look, man.
Yeah, it was a time, it was a fun time though. I mean, it was amazing dressing up in that Superman.
Yeah,
now who's Batgirl?
Yeah, that's a really good friend of mine, and yeah, she dressed up as Batgirl, and she dressed up as Batgirl, and she refused to wear the utility belt. It was weird. I'm like, why won't you wear the utility belt?
Was it like obnoxious or something? The belt?
No, she just likes the way that it looked without it, as it looked more of like a one, straight up one.
How tall are you, Zod? You look like you're about to hit the ceiling there.
I'm 5'10".
Oh, you look really tall.
I look really tall.
He does. Like he's crouching down, like he's
I'm
only 7'8", guys. I mean,
you got the Henry Cavill where you're ready to just like.
She's really short, so it's sort of like that's probably why I look so tall. She's really short.
I get it.
No, these are great costumes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're like,
these were good costumes.
Like Christopher Reeve, like I don't need the muscle suit underneath. I'm just gonna get all jacked up and put the Superman suit on. Do you still have the costume?
You know what? I still have the costume in my closet.
You gotta save it.
I still have the cape in my closet. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the suit, the you said how did her pants stay up? The suit is
it's a onesie.
It's a onesie suit. So you're not really, I don't have to worry about that because it's a one piece. The Superman suit though was harder. Like it was harder to wear, because I don't know, the fake boot over your shoes.
So was that a one piece too, or is that more than one?
I had the same one.
Oh, so you didn't have to like pull your red underwear up over the...
No, but you had to take everything off to go to the bathroom. Like it's
oh yeah.
That
would be kind of inconvenient.
Yeah, that Spider-Man suit that you saw on Facebook that I was in, Zod, like that thing was like I couldn't even zip that up. Like somebody had to like zip up. Like those onesies are tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and the zipper is always is like combative. Like you can't. It's like I don't know.
It's always getting caught. The next
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, getting caught.
Yeah.
So it was funny. I dressed up as Kylo Ren this Halloween, and
Oh, can you show a picture of it?
I don't have it pulled up.
Show that picture.
Yeah,
we need to
show
see it. We have to.
I gotta see if I can get it. But it's it reminded me of that, like the One Piece, and it's weird because the way it is, it's a One Piece suit, but it's almost like a dress. If it wasn't for the robes, it would literally look like I was wearing like some sort of a dress, because it only comes down, but you have to open it up and like squeeze your way in.
Oh, that was Discord. I saw it. That's right.
Yeah,
it was Discord. I was like, where did I see that? That was a fun. Hey, that was cool. You got the wife to dress up like.
Yep. I had her like dressed up in a little bit of Darth Vader. I don't think she really wanted to wear the mask, but she wore the shirt, carried the lightsaber, wore the gloves.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the kid wanted to be a stormtrooper. That's where it all started. We let him pick.
Gosh, can I pull that up on? Can I go on Discord and pull that up? It's got to still be there, right?
Yeah, probably.
That's funny. Everybody went something Star Wars. My daughter went as Princess Leia.
Really?
Yeah.
How's your wife doing, Jesse?
She's
still sick.
Still coughing, really.
Oh my god.
She can't get rid of the cough.
Oh, it wasn't. It was. I think it was the group text.
Yeah, if I can, I have to send it to myself.
I'll never
an email.
find it.
I found it.
Am I not allowed to show this?
What?
The picture. Do you want to hide it or
no?
something?
Oh no, no. I'm sending it to myself through email right now, and then I'll be able to open it up on screen. There's probably a much easier way to do it, but that's how I know. That's how I do everything.
Here it is, guys.
If it's on my phone, I'll send it to myself through.
There it is.
Oh, looks good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
wow. That's awesome.
The mask is actually legitimate. It's a legit mask, and it changes your voice also. But the voice change feature, it just sounds like you're talking underwater, and there's like a serious echo behind it. So I don't even use it.
Awesome.
What brand was that? The helmet? Was that?
Oh, geez, I can't remember. It's right in the room right over there, but.
It looks good.
I got it right around as soon as episode 7. I think I might have mentioned this before. That's back when I thought, oh, this guy's going to be a pretty badass bad guy. Like
your kid looks great in the stormtrooper outfit, though. Too. That looked really cool. I mean, it was really really detailed. Like nice.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those kind of cheap costume sets, like we used to have when we were kids. They were like the plastic garbage bag. This is like the 2023 version of it.
I remember
they're not cheap anymore.
I remember as a kid having a Voltron one that looked like a plastic garbage bag.
Yeah, these are those, but they're a little nicer than that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's definitely.
And the mask was actually hard plastic. It wasn't like some cheap piece of rubber or anything like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, he wanted to go as Stormtrooper, and like, all right, well, I have other Star Wars costumes, so why don't we all go as Star Wars?
Remember that picture Dan showed us of he dressed up the whole family?
Yeah.
As Star Wars.
That was good.
He said this will never happen again.
Yeah, I'm just an emo kid deep down. That's why I was Kylo. Yeah, I thought Kylo Ren was going to be so cool, and then he turned out to be some like emo kid.
You ever see the movie Bad Boys where the dude's got a tattoo of Jar Jar Binks on his back? Like, this guy's gonna be the shit. Jar Jar Binks, like
he's the next big. Oh, geez.
I mean, it wasn't just a little tiny tattoo. It was like his whole back. It was Jar Jar straight coming at you.
That was kind of my thought when I was like, I'll get this Kylo Ren thing. He's gonna be so badass. Yeah, whatever. The Disney Star Wars movies, that's a topic for another show in itself, I think.
Yeah, that is.
And the James Cameron Spider-Man. Like, I want to. That's a show of its own, guys. Like,
yeah, we touched on superheroes as
there's so
kind
much.
Of general.
Yeah.
We could focus on one specifically and probably spend 2 hours.
And something we didn't talk is just Batman '89.
Yep, that deserves its own show.
Oh God, perfect.
I mean, that's why I put Keaton in the thumbnail. He's just 80s, awesome.
Well, here, all right, since we're doing an adult show and tell, so my mom works at Hallmark.
Is that from this year?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
that's
man, I gotta
cool.
go
So,
Hallmark.
Flash.
I get the early access to a lot of this stuff, and she'll come with the catalog. Do you want anything?
Oh, dude, I'm going.
You know, I have like a little mini NES, a bunch of little mini arcade machines.
Did you get the
and,
mini Sega Genesis? that
I
they
did. I
put
have the
out?
mini
I got
Sega,
that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I got that.
Super Nintendo. I think
Yeah.
I have like
I
Pac-Man,
got-
Defender,
I
Donkey
got
Kong
you all beat.
arcades.
I got
Do
the
you?
Disney monorail that goes around the tree.
Oh no.
Disneyland
Oh, that's
monorail.
cool. Very cool.
Nice.
But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, you know what? I had to get it. Like Michael Keaton, that's my favorite.
And he's
version of
wearing
Batman.
he's wearing the right utility belt, so it's from
Yes, he
'89.
Is that
From
89?
'89. It's not
I can-
from. It's not.
I don't know if
from
you can
the-
see.
I
Yeah,
can tell by the six
89
pack. It's
Batman.
Batman. Yes.
Yep.
His
Yeah.
six pack is different in Batman Returns.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
And they use a different logo on his chest
And in
also.
the and in
Oh,
the
yeah.
Flash
Mhm.
movie, he has a black utility belt. He doesn't have a.
I didn't even notice that.
He doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah,
a
yeah,
yellow
he has black.
utility belt.
Yep.
All those times to Target, all those trips, and I never noticed that. Well, I guess we're gonna add that to the Walk and Talk this week.
Yep. Tell the story about
Oh, yeah,
dropping
gotta-
it. What
gotta
did I
go
drop?
back and check that out. And you got to mention on Nostalgia
Oh.
Power how we.
I will, and just because I mentioned Walk and Talk, guys, the deals going on. Keep your eye on everybody this weekend. There's so much stuff. Like if you're waiting for an arcade, it's a good time to buy it on that sale for
I'm waiting
Kohl's.
for those peasant versions to drop down to $50.
That's going to be an
then I'm
in-store
gonna buy
thing.
all of them.
That's going to be where you're going to have to go in store, and it's just going to be the luck of the draw, like going to Costco and seeing a $3.99 display unit, right?
I got to get that casino cade so that me and Jesse can start our time
Yeah.
crisis project.
I'll try and squeeze one in.
We're gonna do it, Jesse. I think I'm like foreseeing it now. Us doing that, like for some reason, I can just see it happening. And what you said about Joe Sabos, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if he can do, the artwork and the marquee.
Yeah, you have to squeeze it down a little bit.
Oh my God, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. Who else is Retro 530? Like you're just thinking that, like the one behind you, Jesse, the big buck
Yep.
marquee. Maybe that's the guy. Maybe we should go to Retro 530 and say, hey, you did this for big buck. Do it for Wheel of Fortune. We want Time Crisis.
They might.
Yo, you know what I was
Did you
thinking?
for it?
The peasant version. Buy the peasant version of Big Buck Hunter and turn that into a Time Crisis.
Here's the thing. Buy the big buck peasant and get the retro shooter kit, the buy stuff. Like that's the one to do because you're not paying much for that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
another
it's still
Yeah.
all together. It would still be cheaper than Time Crisis.
throw a buy stuff 19-inch monitor in the peasant. Get the Time Crisis bezel. I think they have it. Guys, I bought the riser booster this week. I couldn't pass it up.
Did you?
Yeah, I'll do a video on
For
it.
Time Crisis,
Yeah, guys, the screen, it's just
are you going to do the 19-inch mod? That's the question.
I'm going to see how it is on the riser booster because, Mike, you have T2. When you're playing that, it's a perfect height. That is 5 feet high, the screen. I have no issue with the 17-inch monitor. I want to see how this is if it's a little bit higher. Because when I rescued Rachel McPherson the other night, it's just...
Richard Miller.
It's just a little low. Like my time sucked. It was like 25 minutes and I got...
And at the end, you were at like 23% accuracy.
I didn't even make the list. Like when I... Like you'll never see me in any of the online leaderboards in this. If that screen's too low.
So if the riser booster puts you
the-
at the perfect height, like it did with T2 for Mike,
Yes,
you'll be good. You won't need to get the 19-inch.
We'll see. There's
But-
two sizes. There's a 3-inch and a 5-inch. I went with the 5-inch because Buy Stuff's got an image on their website. They're perfect. T2 and Time Crisis are even, the screens.
Oh wow, okay, that's not
and you
bad.
get a nice Namco logo on the front of that riser booster. If you look at the Star Wars riser booster, they did a great job with that. So
That's
Buy
pretty
Stuff.
awesome. The only thing I see, if I got Time Crisis, I feel like the 19-inch screen would be a no-brainer because you've already spent, 700 and whatever, so almost another
I know,
couple
but
$100 to get that.
You
to
have to
have
take that whole marquee back off of that thing.
hassle.
Well, you got to take that off. You got to take the control panel out, take the whole stinking side off again. It's like, do you want to do this? Do you want to take apart the entire machine? For what are we talking here? Seriously, what are we talking? An inch and a half bigger? Like for that much? Is it worth it? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
not really.
It's one of those things where you probably don't know that you need it, as long as you don't have it. You know what I mean?
I've never had an issue. God, that retro shooter kit on T2, it's perfect, guys. I don't know if I need a 19. Now, Toxin's in the chat. He's like, well, I have a 20-inch. I know. I mean, I'm not saying the screen, the bigger the better.
Sure, of course.
But there's more work in Time Crisis than taking T2 apart. Let me put it that way.
Is that true, Hot Rangus? You guys ever watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Not really.
No. So
I tried watching that series on Amazon where the son's the superhero, the dad was the superhero. He turned out to be bad.
You're talking about Invincible.
Yeah, I tried watching it last night, season 2. I can't get into it.
Well, did you watch season 1?
Season 1 was good. I just got bored within the first 10 minutes of season 2, and I turned it off. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't started watching season 2 yet. I did enjoy season 1 though, and because I was reading the comics that it's based on. And the comics are pretty good. So, but they take some liberties with the TV show. It's not completely comic book accurate, but
I mean, the fact that I watched something other than YouTube, I was pretty proud of that.
Oh yeah. YouTube is like the dominating thing. It's like
you need those suppository sponges to help out with that problem. So give Phil your address.
Yes, please. Let's get these sent out.
Well, guys, what do you think? Want to wrap it up? It was
Well,
good.
first,
Good superhero talk. Go ahead, Jesse.
First, I owe Cyan a story, so he wanted to hear it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. So let me go. Let me just go back and give you a little idea of my house. I lived in a 2-family house, right? And it was my mother's house when she was a kid. She lived in that house first, and it was 2 floors. It was two families. So she lived on the first floor when she was a kid with her parents, and her aunt and uncle lived upstairs. Well, yeah, her grandfather, I'm sorry, lived upstairs. Well, anyway, when we came along, my grandparents moved upstairs and we stayed downstairs. We took over the downstairs. My bedroom was my aunt and uncle's room when they were kids. Okay. So that'll be important in a moment. Well, anyway, so when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I was in the living room and I was watching TV, and there's an archway to the dining room over here. So I was staring at the TV and I could swear I'd seen something over to my right. So I quickly look and I see what looked like to be a little kid. And it seemed like he was in a white suit. And I remember telling my mom, I said, you ain't going to believe this, but I seen this little kid standing by the archway real quick. And she said, no, it's probably your eyes from staring at the TV. So I didn't think anything of it. I was only a little kid. Well, later on, when I was about 15 or 16, my mother let me in on a tragedy that happened. Her little brother passed away. That was the little brother that the room I shared I took over. Well, he was buried in his communion suit. It was a white suit.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Well, if that didn't creep you guys out, I don't.
That's
I don't know what will.
insane.
Thank God we're doing this in the morning and daylight.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm about to turn the lights on.
Yeah.
like you playing PT the other night. Like I'm like, oh my God, imagine doing this show around that time.
Yeah.
And having Jesse do a spooky story at the end of every show.
Yep.
Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Mm-hmm. Leave everybody off with their nightmares. Yep, there you go, saying.
So say goodbye to the Galaga 88 countercade. I'm selling it right after the show.
Goodbye, Galaga
We
88.
got something new going over there. So
Next, you have it by next weekend.
Hopefully you'll get a pretty penny for it though, Phil. Hopefully he doesn't try to lowball.
Well, you know what? Like I said,
What if he tells you $50? Are you gonna let it go still?
no, it's got to go 75.
I mean, if he's coming over with the intent on paying 100,
Yeah,
I think you could get him for 100.
Yeah. You're gonna go through all the trouble of coming.
you know, I would have went to that Kohl's that had the NBA Jam in store, but that just doesn't show up at Kohl's. Like somebody returned it, and you know what I mean. Like you get that vibe, Jesse. You know what you always say when you're putting together your arcade, like you're afraid what's not going to work right. I don't want to deal with it, so I ordered a new one.
I'm still doing my deal. $25 for the iArcade. I don't have any takers. $25 for the iArcade with the team encoder board. Never used.
$25.
And nobody's taking it.
$25.
Wow.
Good morning, Sharon Peters.
Sharon.
Saying spirits, I got the NBA Jam countercade for like $76 after after everything. The Kohl's cash you take off, the incentives, all that stuff. So
MG says he'll take it. I thought you had one, MG.
$25. Yeah, but you got to come pick it up. That's the thing. I'm not shipping it. $25.
That's
Come
the deal
here.
breaker.
You pick it up.
Moat wants it. You know what, Moat? We're close to
He's
that.
fairly close to you.
You're just a little north from me.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mike, you wanna come pick it up, man? It's yours. $25. I got the team encoder board new in the package with the power cord, never used. I just want $25 so that I can, just so I get something for it, get it off my hands.
Because Zod's an arcade one-up guy. He doesn't want any iArcade stuff.
I wouldn't go that far.
Like I'll pay you $25 to take it.
It's almost like okay, yeah, Mike, DM me. I definitely hey
we could all do a meetup. I'm totally in.
Really?
That'd be why not?
That'd be
That'd
dope.
Awesome. Let's do it.
I'll come over, hang out on the couch. I got
it.
This is the couch.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, you could make like a Gurney Mills trip or something.
Expect some videos to be shot while you're doing it.
Oh, some.
All right, guys. Well, that was fun. Great superhero talk.
Yeah.
Been going at it for almost an hour and a half. The kid's been silent for about half an hour. God only knows what he's getting into up there.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna have
to go.
Maybe he's asleep
all over the walls upstairs.
Oh,
yeah.
speaking of that,
God. Hopefully,
real
the
quick.
magic marker.
Real quick, Mike, when you did the Batman commercial last week, you spit all that milk out on your floor.
So, a little behind the scenes magic. I spread out a bunch of old car towels and stuff like that. It still got all over the place. But
I was imagining your wife coming in at that moment and seeing you spit all that milk.
No, I can't remember where she was. They were both gone for an extended period of time. Or maybe I got off work early that day or something like that. I'm like, I need to do this now.
I was watching it again last night. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
And even like when I was spitting all that fake blood out, like my kid, he can't watch that. It's like, I don't know if it freaks him out or what. I don't like that part. I'm like, it's not real. I mean, Captain Crunch is pretty rough on your mouth, but it's not
pretty
that
rough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
sore for a week.
Rough.
But that's what made me think of it.
Talk about having mush mouth.
I like soggy cereal for a reason. Like I don't want anything slicing up my mouth.
I know.
Stephen Wright. I haven't heard that in a long time. Stephen Wright. I lost a buttonhole the other day.
No, that was really bat milk. I mean, why else would I have reacted that way? It tastes terrible.
The Post-it note looked pretty legit.
It was. I mean, that was a. I even tried to write it all like
that commercial. That commercial turned my stomach. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so gross."
Just imagining. Well, what was it? Meet the Parents, right? Was it Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller? He's like, "Well, you could milk anything with nipples,
Yeah.
He's like, I got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Can you
You know,
milk me?
Oh man, look away.
can you milk me, Greg?
Oh man.
All right, guys. Before we get down the showgirls route again with this, I mean,
Yeah, it's coming.
yeah.
Magic Mike.
Yep. I appreciate everybody for showing up and all you guys. We did good superhero talk. Maybe another show we'll have to touch on villains. I mean, you know, we didn't even talk about really any of the villains, and there's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah. Let's end with your favorite. It could be cartoon, comic, live action. Favorite villain all time.
We talking just like superhero?
Yeah.
Saying in the superhero.
Superhero villain. Who's your number one?
Mine would be the Joker. And do you want like a specific version of the Joker?
No, just in general. Just
all right, Joker.
I like Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom's a great villain.
I'd have to go either with the classic Joker or the Riddler.
Agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Joker as well.
Wow,
Yeah.
a lot of Jokers.
Yeah.
Dr. Doom's a bad, you know what?
But Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four and the Roger Corman Fantastic Four is a close.
Magneto.
Second. He's really good.
Good answer.
I almost
Sharon.
went. I almost went Dark Side. I love Dark Side.
Dark Side would be.
I love
like
Dark
probably my
Side.
number 2.
So
do I.
Yeah, Dark Side is in there.
Oh, Magneto's a good one.
And we actually got to see Dark Side in live action.
Yes,
Zack
in the
Snyder's
Snyder. I
Justice
know.
League,
Oh, that made me so mad just because of what could have been, you know.
we got to see him, and he's menacing as hell.
Yeah, a lot of dooms.
Dark Side is the epic villain in the DC
MG.
universe.
Is he
Come on.
trolling? Yeah, Magneto's
His
a good
Omega,
one.
his Omega beam. So like if you were that TV, like he could shoot his beam, like they would hit you.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty scary.
He could hit any one of us if he was on this stream with us from wherever he is.
Yeah, he could. All of us at the same time. Who else? Apocalypse from X-Men was always a good one from the cartoon show.
Yeah, I mean he's really sinister. You know, I mean, what a you don't want to get into cahoots with Apocalypse. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. He'll turn on you.
Big
But
time.
again, as of the Star Wars prequel or sequels, that could be another topic for another night or another morning, I should say.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Anything else?
Nope.
We all good to go? All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next Saturday morning.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.
Roll the credits.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Pow, pow.
Sit, Ubu, sit.